You take a lot of your tradition from Italy, you bring it here, but with a twist to it.
I bring the Italian culture, the sort of the traditional Italian culture, the regional Italian culture, to my American culture, because I came here when I was 12 years old. Dodo is also Italian, he's Sicilian. So we share and we bring what is happening in Italy. The Italian cuisine is seasonal and it's regional. And then he adds his touches. He's the creative spirit behind all of this.
Do your cookbooks cover all different regions of Italy?
I have different books. Mastering the Art of Italian Cuisine does just that. It covers the regions of Italy, but not specifically. It's mastering Lydia's sort of art. It's over 400 recipes. And also I include the Italian-American cuisine, the cuisine that was kind of developed by the immigrants when they came and they didn't have their products. They didn't have the grana padano, they didn't have the truffles. What they remembered with what they found. So, I mean, it's a valiant cuisine, it's a beautiful cuisine, but it is a cuisine of adaptation. It is more of an American cuisine than it is even Italian. Maybe the second generation or third generation of Italian immigrants that came here, that's the Italian-American food. So if you travel around America, spaghetti meatball, eggplant parmigiana, the way it is found here, you don't find it in Italy. In my book, Lidia Mastering the Art of Italian Cuisine, I have the traditional regional recipes, some of these Italian-American recipes, and then some of the innovative recipes, you know, because as a chef, you make changes. Dodo Fortunato downstairs makes changes.
Is it hard to put recipes together when you're used to just putting a sprinkle of this, a dab of that, to actually list?
You have to really be disciplined because you sit there and you have to measure everything. The recipes that I ask for Grandma, she says, a pinch of this, a pinch of that, but I can't measure it.
A pinch.
But that's the way they used to cook.
Do you see from shows like yours, everyone out there feels they can be a chef?
This awakening of food and people cooking and going out to dinner, people are getting into understanding what they're eating, what they're cooking, how they're being nourished. They just don't blind accept everything. So I think it is really great. And everybody out there has capability. We all touch food, you know, as simple as it might be. So again, you know, I get the emails from my viewers. They says, Lidia, you make me feel like I can cook. And I says, you can. Go in there and do it. So you make a little mistake the first time, but it'll get better.
Think about what's on this table and how different the combination of foods that you've put together.
This is food that's been elevated to an extent because that's what restaurants are supposed to do. When people go out to eat, they need to be conscious about nourishment, about the product being good, and about the presentation and the cooking process. At home, what I kind of teach and profess is rather simplicity. Recipes need not be complex. Need not have 20, 30 ingredients. Absolutely.
Well, what I love is that you not only infuse different flavors, but different textures.
We learn and appreciate things with all of our senses.
This is like an explosion. You know when you watch fireworks and different things go off at different times? That's sort of what you're talking about. It's almost like a series of, first you smell, then you taste, then you feel, then you crunch, and it just it envelops you.
This is a typical spread of our favorite menu items. Barolo fettuccine, these are the spring vegetables with burrata. This is crudo. Crudo means raw. And raw fish. So this is different kinds of raw fishes, kind of strips of them. And it's tuna, and it's fluke, and it's salmon. And it has some of these spring herbs, a little celery leaf, a little bit of thyme, and then just a drizzle of lemon and oil dressing. But what makes it, all these little specks, these are rice, black vented rice, and the white rice. It's cooked, puffed, and then made into a kind of crunch, you know, almost like cereal, and it gives you that extra feeling of texture and crunch. Now this here is tuna alla palermitana. Chef Fortunato is from Palermo, Sicily, and what's beautiful about that is it's has a little bit of seasoned breadcrumbs seared on one side, and it's raw on the other side. And then it has just a little bit of balsamic reduction and a little bit of the almond sauce. Very, very Sicilian, with a little caponatina. You know what caponatina is?
Yes, it's the eggplant. Yes, it's the eggplant.
In the center.
In
so
the
that's
middle.
all 100% Sicily. And this is our grigliata. Whatever the freshest fish are in season. You have lobster, calamari, scallops, shrimps, all of that with some vegetable. Grilled and then just seasoned with a little squeeze of lemon juice and olive oil and some of the chives that we saw downstairs.
Pasta. There's a simple way to cook it.
Dry pasta is made of durum wheat, hard wheat and water. To cook pasta, you need abundant boiling water, and the water needs to be salted.
But it always has to have salt.
Yeah, because if you cook pasta in water without salt, it's bland. The one thing that is a no-no is putting oil in the boiling water.
Between your pasta, your restaurants, your cookbooks, have you realized how many people you've touched?
You know, it becomes evident when I look at the emails, or, you know, as we watch in television, the statistic, how many viewers, and what, did I ever plan that? No. It was kind of a progression for me. I loved cooking, I was passionate about it. We started our first restaurant with my husband, and I just loved it. I loved the fact that, you know, to communicate with people with food. It was a gift. Then the opportunity of a book came along. Once I opened Felidia, here Julia Child, James Beard would come. And so Julia ultimately wanted to learn how to make risotto. And she did, she came over the house. Then she asked me to be on her show. So I did 2 episodes, and the producer says, you know, you're pretty good, how about a show of your own? And Julia really encouraged me. So my life in the industry and the expansion of it, it's kind of a natural opening of opportunities. The biggest reward is people responding and connecting to me, and, you know, I'll get an email from somebody in the middle of America. Said, Lydia, last night in our house, we made a Lydia dinner. Everything we cooked was Lydia. And so, you know, I get this choking feeling. Here I am, they invited me in their house. I most likely will never see these people. So it's a big gift that I get in return. Yes, it evolved into business. The partnership with my son, Joseph, and my daughter, Tanya, with Mario Batali, all the different restaurants, Felidia, Becco, Esca, Del Posto, Lydia's Kansas City, Lydia's Pittsburgh. And then the next opportunity that came to partner with the Italians in Italy, the big food emporium,
yes.
And it's a fuzzy feeling for me.
All of the people that you've cooked for, you mentioned, was the most memorable the Pope?
I cooked for Pope Benedict when he was here, and then I was asked again to cook for Pope Francis. And, you know, I've cooked for presidents and royalties and whatever. And I must say, yeah, cooking for the Pope, I felt the connection. I felt so close. When I told my mother, you know, my mother is 95, everybody loves her. She lives with me. She's still going through. So when I told my mother, I was asked to cook for the Pope. So she looks at me and she says, and who's gonna be next? I says, I'm not going there yet.
That was. And now you're cooking for us.
Exactly. And it was absolutely
the moment is important.
delicious. Thank you so much.
Allora.
Thank you. And if I'm the judge of anything, this is the best meal I've had.
Thanks for coming to my table.
Thank
and
you.
I'm delighted. We'll continue. We have a lot to finish here.
We do. Cheers.